Shalom, family. It's good to see all of you here. Yeah, we're going to go over what some people call Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, his book came out, I believe, on November 19th. His book came out. Well, his book so far, y'all, is a major, major flop. He is nowhere near the top 100. He got Candace Owens numbers. If you remember when her book came out, and it didn't do well either during the pandemic. Well, you're going to laugh at some of the stuff that people wrote. I think, this is a desperate attempt to get money and trying to milk the public on his acquittal. And y'all, I don't see this just exploding out here. And so far, it's not. It's not exploding out here at all. And as far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't. Mhm, you ain't never lied, King Wade. He said, "What a waste of trees." Yeah, yeah. So, shalom to everybody in the chat, and I won't be keeping you long on this one. So, as many of you already know, Kyle Rittenhouse got a book out, and it's been out there on Amazon for a couple of weeks now, and they are declaring the book a bomb, not just on Kindle, but on Amazon. So Kyle Rittenhouse' new book is called Acquitted, which he described a story of survival, resilience, and justice. Has been doing poorly on Amazon's bestseller list. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. I don't see all this survival and resilience. Boy, y'all really know how to hype stuff up. You really, you really do. Rittenhouse 20 gained notoriety in August of 2020 when, at the age of 17, he shot and killed two men, Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 26, at a protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rittenhouse, who was using a semi automatic AR 15 style assault rifle, which was not even his weapon. Okay. He also injured 26-year-old Gage Groscrews. He said the three shootings were in self defense. Yeah, he said that. So, Rittenhouse trial was divisive. But on November 19th, 2021, he was acquitted of all charges. Since then, Rittenhouse has become the poster child of right wing media and released his book on Kindle on November 19th. And this is what he says. Now, I find some of this very interesting. You know how we always bring up the topic of welfare? Usually, white people will come around black people and bring up the topic of welfare. And then we have to always remind them it's more of you on welfare than us, because they got this thing about denying government assistance, denying welfare, denying Section 8. And we know they're using all of those things. So I want y'all to listen to this. He says, in his own words, "I never wanted to be a public figure." He goes on and says, "I was homeless as a small child and raised in government subsidized housing." Kyle Rittenhouse is a welfare child. He came from a welfare family, y'all. Okay. He is a welfare, because when you bring this up to white people, they swear up and down nobody, you would think nobody in the white race was ever on welfare, right? we know we know they're on it more than anyone else, but they swear up and down. They always try to laugh it off when you point that out to them. So he's admitting this is a welfare child. Okay. Look at this face, y'all. This is the American welfare child, poster child right here, because this is what most of them look like. All right. So let's go on. "My goal was to be a cop or a paramedic." This is what the blurb, because you know how the writers will write a blurb on Amazon. That's what he wrote. And then he goes on to say, "I went to Kenosha to help my community, not become a whipping boy in the national debate. In less than 3 minutes, the direction of my life was horribly altered when I was forced to defend myself with deadly force. So much was said and written about me that was not true. Actually, you were underage. You should not have been at that protest at all, not without adult supervision." All right. And as far as him using deadly weapon, Now, I want y'all to hear the typical white supremacist stuff that he got to say, but I didn't get to that part yet. So he says, now for the first time, I wanted to tell my story. My name is Kyle Rittenhouse, and I was attacked. I defended myself. I was prosecuted, and I was acquitted. So that's what he wrote on his blurb. So now this is what Amazon says. Rittenhouse may be disappointed because, according to the figures from Amazon, the work is sitting at 9,569 on the list. Did y'all hear what I said? His Kindle of acquitted is at 9,569 on the list over in Amazon. So he is nowhere near top 100, top 10. He's nowhere in that park. That's where he's sitting. Okay. That's where the book is sitting. Mm, mm, mm. So, and this was as of today is Wednesday, right? This was as of Tuesday, yesterday. That's where his Kindle version of Acquitted is sitting. It also ranks at 510 in nonfiction in the Kindle store. Yeah, I would say that's poor. That's poor. So if he was looking for this big, giant amount of revenue from this book, I don't think he's going to see it, y'all. So they tried to reach out to him for comment on Tuesday via Instagram. Despite the underwhelming reception at the time of the writing version on Kindle, they said it received 4 out of 5 stars and 36 reviews because, he's got diehard followers, right? So I want you to listen to some of the postings. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm not going to read all 36. So, out on X, Rittenhouse has 1.1 million followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. And he posted about his book out there. And here's some of the response. One person wrote, "Karma is going to catch up to your ass." And most of us can't wait to see it. Another person wrote, "So is now the time to get my Republican on and support book burning?" And someone else wrote, "Oh, wow. Now you published a book. Hope you're ready for Judgment Day." And another person wrote they didn't care anything about his book. They don't care. So, after the shooting, we know he went to court and he was acquitted of the charges. And there were many that accused Kyle Rittenhouse of going up there to intimidate Black people. All right. So, race played a core role in Rittenhouse trial. Yes, he's a white kid, he was white. And we know that judge acted as a defense attorney. So that march, that protest in Kenosha was for the shooting of Jacob Blake. And remember, he's paralyzed from the waist on down from the shooting. So Kyle Rittenhouse claimed he went up there with the weapon to protect property. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a white supremacist excuse. What they're really doing is bringing their high power weapons and make sure they get in front of a bunch of black people. These folks, I have never seen one of these white guys, because usually it's a white guy, show up with a weapon and he's there to help and protect the black crowd. We know that don't happen. No, they want black people to see them with these weapons. And it's like a threat without verbalizing it. That's what these white guys like to do. They are not up there for our safety or nobody from Black Lives Matter when they're marching out in those streets. They just use that property stuff because they think it's believable. And if property needs to be protected, stores generally, especially if they're doing well, they can hire their own security. And isn't that what the police department is for? So if properties need to be isn't that what your cop's supposed to do? No, you're up there to intimidate black people with your weapon. That's all that crap is. They ain't fooling no damn body with that property mess. You're not fooling a living soul. So after Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal in November of 2021, Rittenhouse said, listen to this, y'all. He supported Black Lives Matter movement, saying that he was at the demonstration to protect businesses and provide medical assistance. Okay, so you were up there to protect businesses. Now, what are the name of those businesses you were supposed to be out there protecting? Because even those business owners said they didn't ask a living soul to come out there and protect anything. Even the business owners up there said that. And how do you give somebody medical assistance with an AR-15? Okay, you can miss us all with this. They talk to us like this because they think you're stupid. So y'all, Kyle Rittenhouse, I did the video probably less than 2 weeks ago. He's hurting for money. Thank you, Thomas Israel, for the super chat. He only has the right to protect his property and his businesses. Exactly. He didn't even live in Wisconsin. On top of that, Thomas Israel. So we know he's full of crap. Thank you again for the super chat. Okay. They crossed state lines to go to that protest. So, and like I said, they had interviewed those business owners and they said they never asked a living soul to come there to protect their businesses. So, but they always try to use these excuses, but we know it's always another motive because historically that's how these people operate. And they've always been that way. So, y'all, this is very clear. Usually when books do well, within the first couple of days it's released, you'll see like the biggest number in sales. He's not even getting that. He's not even getting that at all. Okay. Anytime you're 9,569 on the list, nobody's got to worry about your book ever being number one. Okay. It's never going to trend as number one, y'all. It's not going to happen. So that money, now I understand why he was asking for donations and help, because this book is not going to do it, y'all. It's very obvious. Mm-hmm. No, see, if he was sincere about being part of Black Lives Matter and caring, why didn't you take the proceeds of your book and give it to Jacob Blake, who is going to need help for the rest of his life because he's paralyzed from the waist on down? How about that? That would have been a good gesture. You give all the proceeds to the person that's really in need. But no, he wants to tell his story and pocket the money. And on top of that, y'all, he went to a Black Lives Matter protest because his goal was to aim that weapon at Black people, and it just didn't turn out like that. It ended up he had to turn that weapon on people that look like him. That's what he did not. That's why it went horribly wrong. That's the only reason why it did. Now, y'all, we have seen these marches and we've seen these white dudes show up in with their weapons. Can you give the name of one of them that showed up to protect the people and Black Lives Matter? None of them do. No, they come and they are contrary to those marches. They don't like those Black people out in the streets. That's why they show up with those weapons. So y'all can miss us all with that protecting property. You can miss us all. Mhm. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the live stream. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. And if you look, I have other live streams in the next coming days that I will be doing with you as well. I got one tomorrow and another one on Friday. So please stay tuned, and I hope to see you all again. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and shalom, family.